Just recently, a passenger on a Chinese airline had a panic attack on board, claiming he was caught in a time loop and that this specific flight was already in the 6th cycle and the plane was going to crash again. Every time it crashes, he's brought back to the beginning again, reliving the crash over and over again. He said he needed to prevent this from happening. This got a lot of people talking. Who is this man? Is he a time traveler? Is he telling the truth? Well, today we're going to be talking about some scary times that time travelers were caught on camera. Starting off this countdown, we have the man who saved himself. Take a look at this video. Some people believe that this man traveled back in time to save himself from a very bad accident. How else can you explain why this man randomly appears, taps the guy on the shoulder, and then just leaves again? It fully looked like he knew the accident was going to happen and he was trying to warn him. Had the mystery man not tapped him on the shoulder, he would have been taken out from behind, and it would have been a very gruesome scene. And at number 9, we have the film extra. In this situation, it looks like a time-traveling woman was caught in a film by Charlie Chaplin. In the 1928 film, it captured a woman who appears to be talking on the phone. Of course, in 1928, there were no cell phones, so what is she doing? Now, some people believe that she's just simply holding a hearing device to her ear, or that she's kind of like shielding her eyes from the sun. No. She looks like she's talking into something that's rectangular, like a phone. She's a time traveler and she got caught on camera. Coming in at number 8, we have the Outcast. This photo is over 100 years old and shows a bunch of dressed up Canadians chilling on a hill. At first glance, everything appears to be normal, until you take a deeper look. On the left side of the photo, there's a man on the hill that seems out of place. The men are dressed in top hats and suits, and he's just chilling there in a t-shirt. In fact, the 2 men beside him in the photo are even kind of giving him a look like, who are you? As a result, people have referred to this guy as a time traveler. Like, seriously, he just seems so out of place. What is going on? In our 7th spot today, we have the cell phones. This is a case of another time traveler that got caught using a cell phone before they even basically existed. A film from 1938 shows a woman talking on a device that looks just like a cell phone. How is that possible when the first phones weren't available until like around the 80s? And when the phones were made, they were like massive. They weren't this tiny little thing. So it makes us wonder, what is she holding to her ear? Is it a real cell phone? In our 6th spot, we have the man on the plane. Now, I talked about this in the intro. It's the case of the man on a Chinese airline that claims that he was a time traveler caught in a time loop. Check it out. The guy was so freaked out that he wanted to jump out of the plane. He was also heard saying, "You guys are waiting for a death and life reset. Don't you want to restart your lives? Aren't you tired?" So he said that he was stuck in this time loop and that it was on its 6th cycle. During the cycle, the plane will crash, killing everyone on board, and then he's kind of like resurrected and he's living that same scene over and over again. I don't even know what to think about this. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the man on the bike. Here's another instance where a time traveler seems to save a man's life. A man can be seen biking into an intersection when all of a sudden a truck comes speeding down the road headed right for him. Within seconds, a weird figure appears and teleports the biker to safety. How crazy is that? Is this the man's guardian angel or what? Is it his future self time traveling back to save his own life? That could have ended much, much worse for this biker. And even the trucker is confused. He thinks that he's hit the guy, he gets out to, check around, and what do you know? The biker's fine and across the street from him. And at number 4, we have the beach time traveler. This photo from September of 1943 apparently shows British factory workers enjoying their break on the beach during the midst of the war. Everyone is seen wearing bathing suits that kind of fit the era, but right in the middle is a guy wearing a brown suit. Kind of looks like Mr. Bean, I'm not gonna lie. This guy also appears to be like checking his phone, or some people think that he's checking his time travel device. Why does he stick out like that so badly? Like, who wears a suit to the beach besides Mr. Bean, you know? So people say that he is a time traveler. And at number 3, we have the World Cup. During the 1962 FIFA World Cup, somebody captured a photo of the Brazilian team celebrating as they lift their trophy. But it looks like they captured more than just that. Towards the bottom of the photo, there's a man who appears to be taking a picture using a flip-style cell phone. Again, flip phones weren't available back then. So people think that this guy is a time traveler and obviously a huge soccer fan. Let me know your thoughts though in the comments below. In our second spot today, we have the Adidas Shoes. Now, this is actually a really famous case of time travel. A couple of years ago, an ancient mummy was unearthed in Mongolia. Nothing was too off about the mummy besides the fact that she was wearing shoes that looked like Adidas trainers. Obviously, they didn't have that back in the day. The shoes had red and black stripes on it. And now, I personally don't see that it resembles Adidas shoes, but scientists and everyone's are like, oh my god, it's Adidas shoes. Upon analyzing the body further, they found that it belonged to a woman who died from a blow to the head. It's theorized that this woman was a time traveler and then got killed because of it. This could explain why a woman over 1,000 years old is seen wearing Adidas running shoes. And in our number 1 spot today, we have the toothed wheel. A Russian man was using coal to heat his home when he realized something odd sticking out of it. Researchers say that it looked like a toothed wheel. Testing this object revealed that it was 98% aluminum and 2% magnesium, which is weird because humans didn't learn how to make aluminum until 1825. But the cool piece is from over 300 million years ago. And the tooth object is said to be artificially made. Again, how did a man-made object find its way in a 300 million year old piece of coal? Not only that, but the object resembles parts that are used in things like microscopes or electronic devices, or maybe time machines. Could it be that a time traveler went back in time and then his machine broke? Maybe. Alright folks, that's all for today's video. You can let me know in the comments below, do you believe in time travel? And if you could time travel, would you go to the future or the past? Let me know. And while you're down there, obviously smash that like button, subscribe to my channel. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan. Stick around for some bloopers, and I'll see you when I see ya. Bye. In the 1928 film, a woman appears to be taking a phone call in the... What am I talking about? That's probably the only reason that could explain why, and